What up, fam? It's Coach Vassar. Thank you for joining me with the OTF Audio Daily Beats. As always, welcome to my kitchen / dining room. Pleasure having you here. And if you're new to these, thank you for tuning in. If you find value in them, great. Information in the description on buying me a coffee. If you don't find value in them, let me know why and how I can improve and help give you the information that you are looking for when it comes to these template workouts. We're going to go over Wednesday, November 20th, the 5x5. This is one of OTF's specialty workouts. It does repeat every once in a while. I can't remember off the top of my head last time it came up. This is going to be strength on the tread, strength on the floor, a 30-30 class. We'll talk about kind of the overview, the treadmills, rower weight floor, 3G differences, and then go from there. So first things first, when it comes to this workout, today is all about the number 5. So 5 blocks, 5 inclines, 5 exercises, high fives, you know. You customize each 4 block by increasing or decreasing your weight in each drop set. On the tread, you customize your blocks by choosing your start speed and then go faster as the incline drops each block, okay? So that's kind of like the overview. So for the treads, you have 5 tread blocks, each at a different incline. We do 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, choose your speed, start high, and the incline drops by 1% every block. Can you increase your speed as the incline drops? For the rower, with the exception of the warm-up for the weight floor, there's no rowing today. And then for the floor, we have 5 blocks, and it's their choice of either the traditional drop set or a reverse drop set they choose. So when we look at the treads, 3 minutes, 45 seconds, with a 1:15 walk recovery, get back to base when they're ready. So each block obviously is going to take about 5 minutes, with the exception of the last one, which is just the 3 minutes and 45 seconds, and then they're done. And as mentioned, they're going to set one speed, they choose their own intensity, and the goal is actually to hold it the entire time during that singular block. When they move to the next block, incline is going to drop. So the intention is to hopefully at least maintain or increase their speed. So for the first one, 3 minutes, 45-second tread. Power walkers, 5% or greater. The back of the template calls out that most power walkers would do about 2 to 3% higher than the recommended incline. So you may see power walkers hold, 6, 7% incline or more. And then for the joggers and runners, a good starting point is either right below their base or their base. Base at 5%, that's going to be very similar with like a 4% increase to their incline. That's going to feel like about 0.8 to maybe 1 over their base. So it's going to feel like a very conservative push, something that they probably do for like a 3 or 4 minute push anyways. So right at base, just below it, is a great place to start. For those more conditioned athletes, they could probably start a little bit higher, maybe 0.1 to 0.5 over their base. But what we don't want to see is people start too hot and then gas out and then slow down within the block. They want to hold that speed the entire 3 minutes and 45 seconds. Bikes and striders, they could start conservative on their gear, so maybe 2 gears over their base to start. And then so they'll do 2, 3, 4, 5 gears or so. Maybe they'll do 2 blocks of the same gear, then the 3rd block they go up. A couple ways to kind of mix it up for them. For the treads, it's really that simple. Just under 4 minutes. Block 1's at 5% incline. Block 4, they're going to go down to 4%. So to keep the relative intensity the same, they lose 1%. Joggers and runners, see if they could add, 0.1 to 0.2 to their speed. Power walkers, we do want them to drop their incline by that 1%. So even if they started like at 7% for block 1, have them do 6%, but bump up their walk speed. Same thing, try to go 0.1 to 0.2 more. For the bikes and striders, really it's just find that push gear that they can maintain for, just under 4 minutes and ride it out. The final block, number 5, that's where things change up just a little bit. So it's gonna be a 3.5 minute tread at flat road, and then they finish with a 15-second all out. So power walkers, 1% or greater. Joggers and runners, they're at 1% incline. By this point, they're probably in a traditional push, somewhere about 1 to maybe 2 over their base. Bikes and striders, if they're feeling good, they could probably hold those push gears. And then of course, during the final 15, power walkers will crank it up 10% or greater, joggers and runners 2 or more over their base speed. And for the bikes and striders, get out of that saddle if they need to, 6 gears over their base, and see the highest watts of the day. And that's the treads for the 5x5. As mentioned, there's no rowing with the exception of the warm-up. Whenever we have classes like this, I really try to get the people who start on the weight floor, like, hey, this is your 3 minutes to really hone in on form. You are fresh. This is the only rowing you're doing. So can we spend the next, 600 to 800 meters to really get the correct order, the correct feeling of what we're looking for, and get a good understanding of how to change the intensity through leg drive or their split time or their stroke rate. Because once they're done with this 3 minutes, that's it. There's no rowing. Same thing as the treads, 5 blocks, and they will choose either drop sets or reverse drop sets. So the idea with this is they'll start 5 reps with a heavy weight, and then for the regular drop set, they'll go about 5 to 10 pounds lighter and do as many reps as possible, rest, and then do that sequence again. The reverse drop set is the opposite. They'll start with 5 reps at a heavy weight. They're gonna go up in weight by about 5 to 10 pounds and then rep out as many as they can. One thing to be aware of, obviously, weight selection is gonna be a very limited factor for this one. So if possible, if you are able to meet with your members out in the lobby, if you're picking stations, try to get people like similar strength levels, kind of near each other so they can share weights. That is kind of helpful. Obviously, if you have a smaller class, maybe there's only 12 people in class and you have 12 stations, rather than run it as one group, get them to do 2 groups. So that way you only have 6 people on the tread, 6 people on the weight floor. That way the 6 people on the weight floor have a lot of weight selection to use, and they could really make those fine-tune adjustments. Now, if you do have a bigger class, if they're not able to change their weights, another way to kind of mix this up is use tempo. So maybe for the 5 heavy, that might be a slower tempo, and then the drop set for their lighter weight, they speed up their tempo. And then the reverse drop set could be the opposite. They do 5 with like a regular tempo, and then as many as they can with a slow 3 count down tempo with the same weight. So last time that I remember coaching this, most people would get about 2 attempts of their drop set or reverse drop set within the block. So in block 1, we're gonna have a bench press or a chest press, very simple. Minute 15 to set up the next block. You don't need that whole minute 15. So in fact, let the members know as soon as you're done explaining and setting up the second block, let them start to work. That way they get a few extra seconds to maybe get some more reps in. They'll bench tap squats, the weights are at the side. You could also do it as a goblet squat, so that way they only need 1 dumbbell. And then the third block is gonna be dumbbell low rows. You could do this as a strap row, and then, a way to mix it up is to go from the regular strap position into like a bridge for the reverse drop set, or they could start with the bridge row and then straighten out their legs for the lighter version. The fourth block, we're gonna see deadlifts. And so of course, deadlifts, good mornings. You could take it to like glute bridges. For the glute bridges, they could go, 2 dumbbells stacked on their hips. If they're not comfortable grabbing that 1 80-pound dumbbell. And then the final block is shoulder press. That's it. Like, really can't get any more simplistic than that. Because the treads, once you let them go, you're really only gonna check in, like a tread 50. So halfway, maybe the final 30 seconds, the last 15 seconds. So there's plenty of time for you to be over on the weight floor, helping those members. Especially that first block, if you're comfortable spotting people, get in there so that way you can help support their elbows, their wrists, whatever you need to do, and just be attentive for the members on the floor. That's a 2G. 3G, not a lot of different. We're gonna see a 14.5 minute block on the treads and the rowers. For the treadmills, it's gonna be 2.5 minutes at their incline and then a 30-second walk recovery for 5 rounds. The 5th round, they'll go from that 2 minutes and 15-second flat road tread into a 15-second all out. The same thought kind of applies from the 2G. So the first one, maybe they start right below base. After 2.5 minutes, flat road walk recovery. Next round's at 4%. Add a little bit of speed, then 3, then 2, and then flat road. For the rowers, they're gonna have two different circuits. The first one, we'll see a 300-meter push row and then the body weight in and out hops, so like a jumping jack just with the feet. They'll have 5 rounds where they decrease the distance by 50, so 300, 250, 200, 150, and then 100 meters. As the distance decreases, we want to see an increased intensity. So every round, see if they could drop their split time by like 1 to 2 seconds to increase that intensity there. Once they finish their 5 rounds there, then they're going to do the same exact thing, but with twist hops for 12 reps. And then if they finish that, they'll row until the finisher, which is a 15-second all out with the treads. Now on the weight floor, they're only going to have 3 blocks, and they're going to do essentially kind of like blocks 1 and 4, 2 and 3 kind of combined. So block 1 is going to be chest press, and then they'll go into their deadlift. Same thing, they'll do either a drop set or a reverse drop set for the chest press, and then reverse drop set or a drop set for the deadlift. And they'll repeat that sequence. So press, deadlift, they have 5.5 minutes. Block 2, it's gonna be low row and tap squat. And then for the third block, it's 2.5 minute block here, it's just the shoulder press. One thing that they do call out is members don't have to stick with their choice of drop set style. So block to block, they can switch it up, they can mix it up. Also, if they feel like, you know, maybe they started with the drop set that first attempt, maybe they try reverse drop set the second attempt. There's nothing holding them against that from doing that. So there you go. You know, like I said, very simple in terms of overall workout, but great opportunity for you as a coach to really get in there with them on the weight floor and help showcase how strong they can be as they build, you know, not only that physical strength, but also that mental strength of knowing they can lift heavy weights and they can do it more than just 5 reps. There you go. Any feedback, let me know. Coach it down.